The difficulties of being a caretaker. So immediately when people hear the word caretaker, they think of a person that is taking care of a loved one who is bedridden, which is ironic considering where I am. But that's not always the case. More times than not, it's just someone that has a chronic illness, but they're not laid up in bed all the time, but they need help periodically, and it is the primary person that's helping them. This can be one of the most difficult jobs, and it is not always the most glamorous. The person who has the chronic illness is not always vocalizing that they're thankful, and I fall short of that. That I'm not always telling my wife or my parents also, I might not live with them, but they're constantly helping. It can be taxing because when you have a chronic illness, oftentimes you take it out on the ones you're closest with. You're having a lot of mood swings because of medications, or you're in pain. You can't think straight, or whatever it is, it can be very difficult. So you have to find ways to cope with it. One of the most important ways, obviously, is going to God in prayer and digging into His Word. But also, try to find someone that is in a similar situation that you can talk to, because it can be very lonely. A lot of times you end up being isolated because you can't get out. You have to find time to be able to get out and be able to have that time for yourself. So I came across this Bible verse, and it really stood out to me for caretakers. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 10 says, "God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown Him as you have helped His people and continue to help them." By taking care of God's people, you're showing His love, and that love you're showing in those works you're doing won't go unnoticed. And maybe you don't see it now, but someday you will. And maybe that's not in this lifetime, but know that you're doing the right thing, and there is a God that is right beside you through it all, no matter how lonely it can be. And I'm extremely thankful to have my wife, especially. I couldn't ask for a better wife. We're in our late 20s, and she had to just kind of get thrown into this after a year of marriage, and she has learned so much, and she is so gracious with me. But I know it's not easy, and my parents have been dealing with this since I was 15, but it's a different kind of difficult for them, and they are still at the hospital every single day when I'm in the hospital, and they're trying to juggle things, and just like my wife is. But don't give up, keep pushing forward, and remember, God cares about your pain. So do I.